Nobody is calling this a bull trap, but I am. This is a macro higher low playing out in real time, and we are executing so consistently. We just took profits from our 63K long on Bitcoin at 74K and literally jumped straight into shorts as I show you in this video today. Today's video is about a market analyst update, what Bitcoin is doing, what my favorite altcoins are doing, and some of the live trade setups and how I talk through those. If you enjoy this, guys, smash a like, smash a sub, and let's dive straight in. Good morning, everyone. It's 7:50 a.m. on the 6th of March. We'll do a market update today. We're looking at Bitcoin short, we're looking at Cookie short, a Solana short, and SPX short. We'll talk about Hyperliquid. We'll talk about what I'm looking at across the markets and potential trade setups right now. Cappy has actually just shared a live scalp, which we'll share later in the video as well. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Now, do consider joining GTG, guys. If you want to at least get a taste of what you can get, you can sign up for GTG Lite. It's $30 a month, or at least check out the GTG free framework. If you come to the gtg.education website, as it shows you here on the screen, enter your email address. I send you a couple emails just explaining how we use a simple 4-step framework that I've designed for trading. And yeah, you can get that all for free and then just see what it's all about. But hopefully we see you within the GTG community, because we've been nothing but consistent now for, most days of the week. We don't win 100% of the time, but we are so consistent. We just had longs, Uni, Jupiter, Virtual, Tau, we're in longs. And then we literally just took profit on those and moved straight into shorts with Cookie and Solana, SPX, and Bitcoin. So, look, yeah, check it out. We've been consistent. Our focus is always education about understanding market trends. We teach you the lifelong skill of trading so that you can execute and understand markets and help prepare ahead of market shifts ahead of time. So we'll dive straight into total crypto market cap just to have a look. Nimesh just said an inappropriate joke. I'm not going to repeat that on stream, but I do find it funny. I would just want to comment here on total crypto market cap. We did very much similar structure to what you probably see across altcoins, across Bitcoin, and across a lot of sort of charts today. Is it's broken up around the top of its range, right? So we've had all this liquidity stacked up here for a while. We have broken up above. We're now retesting the range as of this morning. This is potentially a deviation, or is this a retest for a little bit higher and grabbing a little bit higher? Okay, we'll just have to wait and see. So total crypto market cap consolidating here for a period of time. I still think, if you zoom out, guys, this is still very much for me going to be a macro lower high wherever it sort of comes in this area. Now, if we look to Bitcoin specifically, I have the same sort of analysis, right? I'm down here on the 8-hour. We're going to focus more intently on lower time frames at the moment because I've been trading more low time frames over the past week. But I still think that I would say that this is still very much a macro lower high playing out here. Now, again, potentially we do see a little bit more, one more rally, maybe back up into the liquidity that we're seeing across most charts above the range high. Or we break through pretty much today and over the weekend, where this is clearly a distribution above the high, and then we start trading back towards the mid range, and then start trading back towards the bottom of the range. Now, I would actually say that this probably is a good enough push up to grab all this liquidity that is sitting here on higher time frames, right? The more you zoom out, the more it just gets even more obvious, right? Up in here, we literally wick straight above. It's like textbook sort of stuff. And you got to remember, okay, refer back to my video early in the week, okay, on high time frames, like the quarterly, the 2 monthly, the monthly charts, there is severe pressure still to the downside for at least a few months time. So my preference still remains high time frame, my bearish bias, use that in alignment with, obviously we traded the long from 63 to 74. We took profit on that, and now we're very much in a short. Now, I have decided to move my stop losses to break even. I'm traveling this weekend, so inevitably, I took a little bit of profit on a couple of the trades. I took profit on the Cookie trade. I took profit on the Bitcoin trade. And I just want to protect that because I probably won't be as plugged in actively over the weekend as I am with family for my brother-in-law's birthday. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. It's retesting the range higher, as you would expect, okay? It's a high level of liquidity, high level of potentially a bounce. We'll see what sort of happens in the coming hours. But at least on the 12-hour, we are approaching overextension on the stochastic. 8-hour is kind of already coming down below 72.7, which we get an 8-hour close in 2 hours time. 4-hour is already coming down below 72.7 already. So looking at RSI as well down the bottom here, in alignment with this structure potentially breaking. It's a change of character in terms of it losing this trend, but it hasn't technically taken out that low just yet in RSI. And stochastic still potentially could obviously go a little bit higher on higher time frames. So yeah, just keep an eye on it. No surprise to see a little bit of a bounce here. Personally, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, my plan for this is to probably hold this trade probably down below 60, probably into that 50K region, which we've been waiting for a while now. And I mean, this is a really nice consolidation period of about 30 days. Arguably, it'll last a little bit longer, potentially end of March, mid-March, before it actually does potentially break. And that would, in my opinion, be a long enough complacency bounce, a long enough time for us to reset volatility, and a long enough time for us to therefore allocate more volatility to the downside, like we saw in this tremendous move at the start of February. So I still, yeah, look, I think we still at least see one more move lower, or at least a sweep of these lows at 59K. Okay, that's my macro analysis. Study time. Don't study price, but study time. Okay, time is very much more important. I know a lot of people think maybe 40K, 38K, 44K. I just want to see what reaction happens in this area here. And I mean, just to zoom out quickly before we go and look at the other, I can remove that. The other trades that we took. Look, you've got some key levels here, right? So for me, like this level here, 57 to 54 is a weekly order block. Like that is the high time frame level that I would expect us to spend a lot, like grab that, bounce from there, spend a bit of time up in that region and holding that region. Whether we do wick a little bit lower to 48, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay. And I mean, if I continue to zoom out and I go to the other chart, it's just a bit simpler here. And I bring back this bad boy. And just move that over there for you guys so it's a bit easier. That's pretty much what we're going through right now. Okay, that complacency bounce on a lower time frame. But yes, as the monthly, we just got a monthly close. It's still very much towards the downside. I would say in this vicinity is where we start to look for a bottom here. Okay, and RSI is already at a pretty much a level here on the monthly that we do historically see Bitcoin bounce. So that does tell me that potentially this sort of area here is going to be a bit of a complacency period, a range bound environment, okay, for a period of time. And then we correct a little bit lower where RSI can kind of do something like this, right? Where it bottoms out very similar to what it did previously. Now, similar but different, okay, stochastic, okay, trending, very much aggressively coming down, but already at the 40th percentile now. We dropped 12% in just the month closer from February into March. Now that's good, okay, because it means that we're coming down more aggressively than we probably have in previous bear cycles, okay? I mean, this one was quite aggressive, but this one was prolonged. This one was prolonged. This one is arguably the sharpest aggressive move we have seen due to the volatile nature of this move. So that means that we probably, as I said before, Q2, probably likely Q3 is where we start to see a bottom form. And I would say unless we really see a big catalyst event, I don't really see us going to 44, but we'll wait and see. I think we at least grab this sort of liquidity in probably this range, all right? So 57 down to about 48K remains my high time frame level. I get pretty aggressive to probably buy Bitcoin in that area. I mean, even more recently, Craig and I spoke about it on the show, AI integration and AI models are literally saying crypto integration is pivotal for where they're heading, the tech that they're building. Bitcoin as an adoption, as a value asset compared to any other asset out there, was 90% for most AI models in terms of what they would rather compared to fiat. So that in itself is a huge fundamental story, and why I think for me, it makes so much sense to accumulate Bitcoin. Below 60K, I'm happy to buy, really, to be honest. And I did swing trade my spot from 65K at 73K the other day. Again, it was a small position for me. It's not like going to be life-changing money. But I was just pretty confident to take that profit there because I am still confident that we go below 60K in the coming weeks or potentially the coming months. Depends how long it takes. Now let's go talk through the other trades that we took. So Cookie, a really good lesson here is like if you ever see an altcoin go pretty crazy, right? And this one did go crazy. It was one of the outperformers over the 24 hours yesterday. Always look and identify the liquidity levels, all right? So if I just talk briefly through that, okay, what I've identified here is levels of liquidity, okay? So if we come and have a look, you've got a huge gap here on the weekly from about 0.265 to this wick here, right? Previously, I mean, I'll get rid of the line so it's a bit easier for you guys, okay? So that's my first big box, okay? That's my liquidity level. It's an FEG, okay? Sometimes we don't go all the way to the top because inevitably if there's a lot of confluence on lower timeframes in alignment with the high timeframe liquidity FEG or order block, okay, then naturally that becomes the high timeframe target rather than going to about the 0.5 level of this FEG. So if we come and have a look on the 5-day and basically keep going down, there's a lot of confluence here in this area. Okay, this is a 3-day FVG, which is one of the lines that I've rectangles I've got here between this low and this high. Okay, so it's just fair value gap. Again, I've taught this in the intermediate and the advanced modules. If you need to refer to them, the advanced modules will be dropping soon, guys. Again, go down lower. Okay, we go to the daily, same, and there's still a gap here. The daily from this wick here to that wick here. So there is 3 high time frame levels. That's the daily, the 3-day, and the weekly, showing me that there is confluence at this level between sort of 0.0243 and 0.0239. Okay, now that doesn't necessarily mean you're trying to capture the trade up here. Okay, I was late to this trade. I only got in around this level here at about 2.3 or 2.4 or something. Sorry, at 2.2. Yeah, at about 2.3 or 2.25 or something. Now, what this shows me that is that we grab that liquidity, okay? That's important. The fact we grab that liquidity, the fact that we're coming up, we had expansive volatility, and that's the beauty of this stochastic momentum indicator. This is volatility. It shows me that we had a volatile move to the upside, and it's also overextended in the moving averages, right? So inevitably, if you have a big expansive move from the downside, okay, the 20th percentile to the overextension mark at the 80th percentile, match with volatility, and you've grabbed liquidity, it's the perfect short setup. So that's why this trade is the best trade in the past 24 hours and has done the most P&L, because it was the one that did all of that. Okay, grab liquidity, was overextended, okay, and now is breaking structure, okay? It is now below, okay? So unlike Bitcoin, which is above its range highs, okay? So if you go start having a look through here, on the 8-hour here, you have clear body candles respecting that level. We had a wick above that. That's a distribution. We have a distribution on low time frames here. On that high, this is a larger distribution of this range. You could say that this is potentially a range high now over here as well, okay? You could, in theory, say that, but these are my liquidity levels back into the original range that we were trading. Deviation, 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 okay? So clear range here for me. I have taken a little bit of profit this morning at this mark, okay? But I am still thinking that this trades at least back to the mid-range, and if not, back to the lows. And if Bitcoin starts to shit the bed and go lower, then potentially this starts to break even lower back towards new lows as well. So really clean setup. That's how I like to execute trades on low time frames, using higher time frame analysis, using liquidity levels. Again, if you're looking to learn this, if you're watching this on YouTube, check out gtg.education. I've literally written tutorials about how to understand this, how to identify this, and the community trades these sort of structures live every single day, like what I'm doing right now with you guys. All right, Solana, very similar structure. Grab this 12-hour. I think it's a 12-hour. Let me check. Maybe it wasn't a 12-hour. Maybe it's a higher time frame. Maybe it is a weekly. Yeah, maybe it's a weekly level. Shout out to Nico who put this on my radar as well. We were chatting about this in the Perps channel, and then I shared it in my channel after the fact. That line is not straight. I think, yeah, it is. It's this weekly level between 92 and 96. Now, we did go pretty decently up into this vicinity, okay? So you could say that we didn't go all the way to the 0.5 level, but we did grab majority of this wick here. So again, low time frames, okay? See what the structure's doing. We go up. We have overextension on some of these 4 hours. You look for bearish divergence as well on lower timeframes. There wasn't really any clean bearish divergence on these charts on low timeframes. Ideally, if you get that third or fourth confirmation, which is your bearish divergence, then it's just such a beautiful setup. But the same structure again, grab liquidity. Again, I was trading purely off Bitcoin as well. Protected this trade really nicely above this high over here, okay? Because I was like, well, what happens if we come in, retest this pump up here, grab all of this, and then do something like this, okay? That has happened. It can happen. So that's why I protected my short. I mean, depends. Like Sexy and Cappy and Aussie might be a little bit more risk on. I'm a little bit more risk off because I'm more of a swing trader, okay? I do scout from time to time, but I prefer to swing trade, all right? So that's why I like to protect it. As you can see here, my risk to reward is only 2.3. So I have 7% downside risk, but I have 18% upside risk, okay? So I would much rather protect the trade than get stopped out here really aggressively, right? So similar structure to what we just looked at, Cookie. This is showing me, again, 12-hour range, okay? So clear candle here, rejection as well, wick, deviation above, retest here, deviation above yet again as of overnight. And clear bottoms here as well. You have wicks here, you have wicks, you have wick. So yeah, key level. I mean, you could say that the range is a little bit higher as well if you wanted to. It's just more about where it fits nicely for how you like to trade, okay? That's an important level to watch, okay? So what I would like to see is RSI breakdown. I mean, as you can see here on the 12-hour, we could push again higher. 12-hour is still above the pivot in 2 hours time where we will get another close. there is room here for at least an attempt, maybe potentially higher or grabbing this one more time. So staying patient here. I have moved stop loss to break even, as I did say. I mean, we pretty much nailed the top of this entry at 93, so I'm pretty happy with that. So look, if I get stopped out of this, I've taken a little bit of profit here. I'm traveling over the weekend. I'd rather just not be worried about open trades, which is actually what Nico suggested as well in the Perps channel. So we'll keep an eye on this chart. But yeah, nice trade so far. Want to see this come out to fruition. Whether we get stopped out and then the move take place, it depends how you want to treat your risk management, okay? SPX as well, similar structure, range on low time frames, broke above, deviation, got in and the retest here yesterday, and have moved my stop loss to break even. Again, ratio was 2.3 back to the range lows. I would probably take at least 80% out at least at these lows, but then I'm looking to potentially trade this lower if Bitcoin pretty much confirms that. So similar structure, similar vibe with that. Last thing I want to talk about is actually just Hyperliquid. Unfortunately, I was really keen again to short 34, but we didn't quite get there, okay? 34 was at a huge level that we obviously traded before, that Nigma shared as well before as well. So unfortunately, we didn't quite get there. Look, and that's trading, okay? You trade probabilities. If it doesn't quite get your trade execution, then you shouldn't take the trade because that's a gamble, right? And I talk about that using the 4-step framework that I've built for GTG. Hyperliquid, I still think we trade back towards this weekly level as well. If we just zoom out a little bit and show you. So I still think we trade back towards this level. I mean, we've had a really nice bounce here on the weekly stochastic momentum compared to most other altcoins, compared to Bitcoin, compared to Ethereum, compared to Solana. They haven't even seen a bounce on their weekly stochastic. So the fact that Hyperliquid has done this shows so much strength, but it also shows me that it's probably going to correct back towards this order block in time, given that Bitcoin probably trades back towards the 50K range. So staying patient. And I do think that we get Hyperliquid here. I've got a decent buy at around $24 and a decent buy at $22, and then we'll re-gauge, okay? There's a massive area down here that we could easily see. I mean, if you start to zoom out, like there's a huge gap here, all right? The monthly as well, between sort of what, 19 and 12, right? If we can't hold these levels, can't hold those lows, then yeah, we definitely trade into this region, which a lot of people just don't understand. But again, that's how price works, okay? But we'll just analyze what happens in real time and we'll adjust accordingly, okay? I would much rather like see this hold this range and do this for months, and then, okay, that's a clear strength sign for me. Okay, I'd have my stop loss invalidation on potential long below that low, and I'd probably be allocating a lot of spot here. Stop loss, again, probably on spot would be below the low, and then I'm targeting new highs, in my opinion, if it does something like that. So, again, the trading plan always adjusts. We always adapt. That's how you win in crypto, okay? That's how you win in trading, okay? You can say one thing, but a smart trader realizes that if ABCD changes the sentiment, changes the fundamentals, or changes the structure of what you initially analyze, well then, yeah, of course you're going to change your probability. You don't want to lose money. You want to protect downside risk. You want to make money, okay? That's the goal. That's what we teach you within the GTG framework. Highly recommend checking it out. So if you are watching YouTube, guys, check out GTG. As I said before, check out the website as well. There is literally a free guide here if you want to check that out. But if you have any questions, guys, please let me know in the comment section down below. Hopefully we'll see you in GTG very soon. Enjoy the free guide. Smash the sub, smash the like, and have a lovely weekend, guys. And I'll see you next week.